I'm Trent.
And I'm Ryan.
This is Hot Mic Chronicles.
Before we get started, a quick disclosure. Trent Summers is the founder of Medic Forge. Ryan Page is the COO of Medic Forge. We have no other relevant financial relationships to disclose. This episode is for educational purposes, and the views expressed are our own. Thanks for listening to Hot Mic Chronicles.
So, what first sparked your interest in EMS?
Honestly, I don't have a specific moment, but for years and years, I was always interested in it. But I couldn't ever find a point in my schedule where I could actually get involved. Because I was always working jobs that wouldn't allow me to take the classes that I needed. They wouldn't give me the time off. So I really didn't have a choice until, the pandemic happened, where I was like, well, I don't have a job anymore.
Right.
Might as well, right?
Got to do something.
Yeah. What about you?
I really didn't have an interest in EMS either. I was living at a firehouse, and it was required for us to get our EMT within a certain amount of time. So I just had to go get my EMT.
Get bamboozled.
I felt a bit bamboozled. I did. What was your first ride along or your first call like?
My first ride along, I was so excited. It was at my volunteer house, and we get called out for a sick person, and I hop in the back of the ambulance. I'm like, let's go, and we're on the way, and they reach back and they're like, hey, by the way, we know this guy, and I'm like, okay, cool. We get there, and it's a guy that's just drunk in a staircase, and the people that live there just don't want him there anymore, and so we picked him up and got him out of the staircase, and they let him go. I was like, oh,
Way to
okay. Is this what we're doing?
start the EMS career with something that could be a highlight for everybody.
You're like, okay. Are we done? You're like, yep. I'm like, okay, cool.
Sounds great.
What about you? Like your first ride along? Exciting?
A bit. My first ride along was on student time as EMT, and it got dispatched as an unconscious person for a 3-month-old.
Okay.
So starting off hot.
Like big pucker factor. Yeah.
Very big pucker factor. I have no idea what to do. And we get there, and this mom is running out with her child saying, you have to save him, you have to save him. And the child was, in fact, in cardiac arrest.
Whew.
And I watched this amazing team that I was with resuscitate this child. I sat back and did absolutely nothing. But it almost brought about this, what I can only say is I saw them as heroes that day.
Of course, yeah.
And it was really cool to see their interaction with the family as well, because they were pretty excited. But I guess that's where I learned about black clouds in EMS and where mine was coming from and where mine was about to start.
Yeah. It's the dichotomy of EMS.
Yeah.
You go from this super high stress environment to this very low budget. We're just, all right, see ya.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's a crazy career. When did you know this was your career?
I think probably after my first pediatric arrest after finishing my medic, I knew I was like, well, I'm stuck now.
This is
like,
what I'm doing.
If I could do this, like, man, what else am I going to do, right?
Yeah.
Because, before this, I've done so many other jobs from, bartending to weird construction jobs. It doesn't compare.
Kind of been everywhere.
Yeah, a little bit everywhere.
Yeah.
What about you?
It would probably have to be during paramedic school. I'd been in EMT for 5 years or so. And when I got into paramedic school, I never had the thought process of I'm going to fail or what's going to happen if I fail.
Right.
I came to the conclusion that if I did fail, I was never showing back up.
Oh, 100%.
I would never show my face around the station. I would go find another job, and it wouldn't be in EMS, and no one would ever hear from me again.
Ghost. Just gone.
Because that's something that I couldn't face. So I think it was then in paramedic school when I just sat there and said, okay, like I'm putting my all into this. I'm going through this very rigorous program, and there's no turning back. This is what my career is going to be from now on.
Yeah.
And that's where it was solidified. Yeah. Yeah.
Dang.
What was the hardest moment, or where you almost quit?
Honestly, paramedic school. Driving 80 miles to class, 2 days a week, plus clinicals, plus working full time. Like, there was a couple periods where I wasn't home for almost 2 weeks at a time between living at the firehouse or getting a hotel. Like, it was a lot.
Yeah.
And I was stressed. And I was like, do I keep going? Like, why am I even here?
Yeah.
Like, I'm in a Motel 6. Why? So I can go to the hospital in 6 hours so I can sit in the ER and do clinicals? I mean, okay, I guess we'll do it. But, it sucked.
Yeah. That seems to be the motto of EMS sometimes is we're doing it. We're
Yeah,
here.
it's like, well,
got to do it.
There's only one way through it. Get through it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you almost quit?
Ooh. I don't think that I almost quit. I've always, since I had that moment in paramedic school of here I am, I'm doing it. I don't think I've almost quit. There have been, you know what? Yeah, I almost quit. I almost quit after a story that I'm sure or after a call that I'm sure is going to come up later. And it was a difficult call. Just had a call previous to it of the same, we'll just call it chief complaint. And
Of course. Yes.
it was just a lot in 2 days, and I just didn't want to do it anymore. I just wanted to crawl into a hole.
Yeah, I think we know exactly what call that is, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be talking about that on a next episode when we, cross-reference that entire event.
Do a little deeper dive.
But, yeah, I 100% get that because
live through it with me. What made you stay?
I just some sort of intrinsic feeling of doing well for other people.
Yeah.
I've been in customer service. Like I said, did a bunch of different jobs before I got into full-time EMS. I was a bartender, and it's customer service. But the people, sometimes they're nice, sometimes they're awful.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you're like, what did I do for them? I gave them what they wanted.
Yeah.
In EMS, I think you can say, even if they're terrible to you, at the end of the day, you can be like, I gave them what they needed.
Yeah, for sure.
And even if they don't give, they don't care, they still tell you to piss off at the end.
Yeah.
You're like, well, you're welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah.
And you can be like, you can walk out with your head held high being like, well, I did what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
I helped you.
Absolutely.
Whether you wanted it or not, appreciate it or not.
I'm here.
I'm still good. I feel good about it.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing for me.
Yeah. I think what made me stay was or is that I've always had this mentality of if not me, then who else?
Right.
And at the end of the day, I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm not saying that I'm the best to ever do it. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that I know that my patients are receiving the best care possible when they're in my ambulance. And I think of my family and I think of someone helping them. And we all know providers that could do better.
I mean, unfortunately, but still, yeah.
It's the name of the game, and we all have those moments. But at the end of the day, I want to provide for the community like I would want someone to provide for my family. And so I think that's what keeps me going, is that, just as you mentioned, the filling this void of needing to help people. Again, we are in a thankless job sometimes, and but it just draws you back to it and sucks you right back in. Yeah.
That intrinsic need is just, it's very powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've kind of talked about our first call, the call that, or when we almost quit. But what do you feel like was your first real call?
I think my first real call was when I was as an orientee at my first job that I had as a professional EMS provider, outside of the volunteer world. And it was a lady in respiratory distress, and I was told to bag. And at that point, I really didn't understand the mechanics of bagging other than, like, I'm going to hold this thing here, and I'm going to go, whoosh. And I was told to bag, and I was like, cool. And I'm bagging while she's breathing. Well, looking back, she's tachypnic, so I'm like, like, I'm trying to help every single one.
Not just assisting her.
Yeah, I'm like, yep, I got this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like,
Oh no.
I'm like, I got every single one of these bad boys. Yeah, that was the wrong answer.
Yeah.
But I didn't know any better, and I got told, like, hey, slow down. I'm like, okay, sure. Okay. Like, all right, cool.
Do that.
I got this now.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But, like, it was a new experience for me.
Yeah. I think for me, my first real call, oh boy, it'd take a minute to think about. I feel like I'm old and have to go back into
I didn't want to bring that part into it, but I thought about it for a second.
Oh, boy.
Back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. So I think for me, my first real call was almost where no patient care really needed done. Mm. And while it sounds, that's not a real call, it kind of goes deeper into the safeguard that we become, of almost just the depravity of people.
Right, because we show up on people's worst days,
right,
worst times, and have to deal with people at, like, their lowest.
Yep.
And, sometimes it might be, a different person each time.
Absolutely. And the call was... it was a children and youth call, which I had never been dispatched for in my career.
It means nothing to me because I have no idea what that is either.
We get there, children and youth is on scene, and there are 8 children in this house. Mom is nowhere to be found. Well, she was found, and this is how the call got started. Was because she was picked up on charges in a different county.
Ooh.
Yeah. There was a step-down involved. He was also nowhere to be found. And ages of these kids went from 8 to 6 months old.
Oh, wow.
And come to find out, they had been home for multiple weeks by themselves.
Was this like a foster family scenario or?
No, this was mom
Oh, wow.
and stepdad.
Oh, wow.
And the house was in despair. The children were either covered in lice, covered in feces. The youngest had some necrosis in regions, just from
That's terrible.
no
Yeah.
diaper changes, and all of the things. And I think for me, that's where it really became real. We ended up transferring these kids to multiple different hospitals, which we didn't want to do, but we had to. And
I mean, because at the end of the day, that's almost an MCI scenario.
oh, absolutely.
You've got almost a dozen patients.
Yeah.
Like it's got to spread the wealth, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And we took these kids and really, really got attached. And you know my feeling about getting attached to patients, but really got attached to these kids. We did the decon process at the hospital. That way the hospital technicians didn't have to do that in the ER. Didn't want to expose them to lice. We already had the rapport with the children.
Right.
All of these things, and got really close with them in a short amount of time. But it was just that real moment of, I can make a difference. I can make a difference in someone's life. And it was really cool.
Yeah, and the ones that are old enough to remember probably still remember to this day that, like, this person I didn't know
Helped me.
went out of their way to take care of me. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Dang.
What has surprised you most about EMS?
Well, but before getting into it, I always think about, you see someone going lights and sirens this way, lights and sirens that way. You think it's always, hot and heavy all the time. It's an emergency every single way you go.
Yep.
And then getting into it, you realize that the amount of actual emergencies are just so infrequent.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the emergencies that we get called out to are things that could be handled by, community paramedicine or just going to an urgent care.
Yeah.
But I think it's a disparity of people that don't realize that they have these options out there or feel like they're unable to do these things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it gets down to the point where you start seeing these people repeatedly. You recognize their address, their name, and you're like, well, are we here for the same thing?
Right.
Yup. Okay, let's go.
We did this last week.
And last week, 2 days ago, right? It happens, but it's a service that can't be denied, so you still provide the same care and you still do the same thing.
Yeah.
It just gets repetitive over a little while. And I think for a lot of people, that's hard to grasp because they lose sight of, like, yeah, we're still here for emergencies.
Right.
But we also have to do this as well because in these people's minds, this is an emergency.
And it's their worst day.
And whether you think it is or not, oh well.
Yep.
That's what we're here for, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we both worked in restaurants, and we both worked construction.
Too many times.
Too many times, and we've had these different jobs, and I think for me the most standout, surprising part about EMS is the family aspect. I've never been closer to people outside of EMS at any other job. Guys on the construction site we'd go after, get a beer together or something like that, work in the restaurant together, maybe hang out, go get lunch with somebody.
Right. So you're talking about like coworker companionship.
Yeah.
Oh, for a second I thought you were mentioning like patients,
No,
family. And I'm
no.
like, I could see it, you're helping them. They're like, oh my God, thank you so much. And you're like,
we're
thank
family
you.
now. No.
Come for dinner.
No, I think the family aspect between coworkers, take you and I, for example, we both started at the same job, became really good friends, and here we are today doing a podcast together. And you're involved with my family's life. I know your family, and I think that you don't really get that in any other job that I've been a part of. You know, working at the office, I don't feel like you might go out for some drinks or something, or make one good friend.
Happy hour every Friday.
Yeah.
You know, for 1 or 2 drinks, and you're like, see you on Monday. Yeah.
But all of my friendships are within EMS or the hospital because of EMS.
Right.
And I've never really had that at any other job.
I think that's more based off of the time schedule.
Yeah.
Right. You know, we talked about this before, you know, a 24/48 or even a 24/72, you're working with people for up to 48 hours a week.
Right.
Like you're close knit, like you're spending your mornings, your afternoons, your nights, middle of the nights together. You're eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner together. And every time you work together, you expect them to be there.
Yeah.
So you're like, all right, what are we doing for breakfast? Are we going out? Are we making food here? Like, what are we doing?
Are we making a Starbucks run?
Yeah, like you become a very close-knit family where most other jobs are like, you should have gotten breakfast before you came here.
Right.
Like, lunch, you have a lunch at 12.
Yep.
You got 30 minutes.
Get to type
Get
on the
to
computer.
it and come back.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the same for EMS because we have, you know, stuff that goes on. We make it happen when it can happen.
Yeah.
But within those moments that we're not running calls, we're hanging out together.
Yeah, Christmas 2 years ago, and we couldn't do anything except run calls, and it was awful.
Yeah, 4-hour breakfast.
Yeah.
With that prime rib.
Prime rib for dinner was amazing. Absolutely amazing. So good. If you could go back to before you got an EMS, what do you wish somebody told you before you started?
Honestly, told me nothing. Because, like, it took me over a decade to actually get into EMS.
Right.
And, like, I'm cool with it. But what I see from, like, newer people coming in, I think they need to do a ride-along. Like, do some shadow time. I took a patient last night that was a retired nurse. And we got to talking. And we were talking about, you know, these baby nurses that, you know, go through all this schooling to then finally do their clinicals or get out in the world. And they see one thing and they go, oh, no, this isn't for me.
Can't do it.
Like, you wasted 4 years
Yeah.
to get here. And now you're done. That's a problem on the entire system.
Absolutely.
You know, you need to get in here prior to that point where you can actually see, like, what are you going to be doing?
Yeah.
You know, it's, you know, when I was an electrician's apprentice, went to the job site, doing jobs, follow my journeyman.
Yeah.
And I realized we were kind of doing the same job.
Yep.
He just knew a whole lot more about it than I did.
Yeah. Been
So
doing it a lot longer.
I was like, man, I can look forward to doing the exact same thing in 4 years. I just know more about it. Yeah, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
So I got out.
Yeah.
Like, great example. Like, get into it, do a ride along, do a shadow, go to the hospital, like, follow a nurse for a day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Figure out exactly what you're getting into.
Yeah, and I think that you and I see that in our full-time job where, you know, people go through school, just like you said, they go through school, they get on the job, and they realize it's not for them. I remember I had a guy at one of my previous employers, and we were busy, and he said, "Oh, I've been busy before," and it took 4 days on our unit, and he quit.
He's like, I didn't know busy like this.
Yeah, I didn't know busy like this. And it wasn't, and we weren't even doing the typical, you know, you're the orientee, you get every call. I don't believe in that.
Right.
You know, I've seen it. It happened to me, but that was one of the things that I didn't want to pass down to people. So it's not even like we were giving him every call, but he had his fair share, and he couldn't hang. And it's okay. And I think that people need to be okay saying that.
Yeah. Like, it's not for everybody.
No.
And that's okay.
No.
If it's for you, all aboard. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. but that's just not what happens. So,
I mean, and it's unfortunate because like I said, it's a breakdown of the system.
yeah.
It doesn't do justice for the younger generation getting into it.
No.
Yeah.
How has EMS changed you as a person?
I'd say honestly, like it makes me a little bit calmer in a lot of situations. I can be hot headed, like we both know that.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to like what other people consider an emergency, I tend to just look at it like, is it now?
Is it really an emergency?
I look back at the jobs that I work, especially, being on the line and, everyone's freaking out in the kitchen, 86, the chicken. And they're like, blah!
Yeah.
And like, it's hectic. It's chaos. It's an emergency. And then you look back at it and you're like, that's crazy. Like 86, the chicken is the emergency.
Yeah. That's the worst thing going on right now.
Like that's not an emergency.
No,
but like
it's
I'm not gonna, sit there and be like, hey, you don't know what an emergency is if it smacks you in the face, because like, no, we're not doing that. But like, you sit there and you go, huh, all right,
Yeah.
we'll get to it.
The motto that I learned from a paramedic a while ago that I always tell everybody is, be a duck. Be calm on the surface. Your feet can be paddling underneath as fast as you can, and nobody knows.
Yep.
But you're a duck.
You're a duck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I think that. EMS has changed me as a person. Sometimes we get into this, is it for the best? And I think there's some traits that I've picked up that, maybe not the best sleep habits and
Well, that just goes for saying, yeah.
yeah, burying calls deep down and not taking care of our mental health, which again, preluding to a different episode, we'll be getting into mental health and EMS, but I think that overall I would agree it's made me a calmer person. It's also allowed me to take 1,000-foot view at everything in my life. And I don't react right away. And I'm able to sit there, digest something, and then go into it with a plan.
Yeah.
And I think that's invaluable. Yeah.
Well, I think of Nick.
Yeah.
Like, all the time I spent with him, every call we ran, this man is
Cool as a cucumber.
Stone-faced, cool as a cucumber, just, so what's going on? And I always be like, what do you mean what's going on? Like, it's an emergency, Nick. But
They're dying.
He was always so calm. Even when I was doing student time and we had some real weird things, he was just like, okay, so what do you want to do?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, intubate? He's like, okay.
Okay.
And like, after working with him for so long, I was like, yep, that's the presence that I would like to be on scene, because it's a very calming presence for everyone else that's around.
For sure.
Because when, the person you're looking up to is freaking out, now you're freaking out.
Right.
And everyone else is now freaking out.
Yep.
But that stone cold demeanor made everything just very, it almost like kind of slowed down the entire scenario.
Yeah. And not that it doesn't matter, but
No, it was just a realistic take of like, all right, I see what we're working with.
yeah.
I got this.
Yeah. Love Nick.
Yep.
Great guy. What keeps you going?
Other than the paycheck?
Yeah.
I'm
What keeps Ryan Page going?
I guess I kind of have like almost a need for it at this point.
It's addicting.
I enjoy being able to show up somewhere and have there be an issue presented to me, and I can go, you know what? I can fix that.
Yeah.
And even if I can't, I can be like, you know what? I can take care of it until it can get fixed.
Yeah.
And like we talked about before, even if we don't get that thank you or that, super gracious response, still know I, did what I needed to do.
Right.
And that for me is pretty much all it is. Like, I don't do this for the extrinsic value of like, I need the applause and the thank you so much. Thank you for your service. Here's your 10% off at Starbucks. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
But the feeling that I know I already carry, that's enough for me.
Yeah.
So like showing up to work, I'm like, yup, I'm going to get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What keeps me going, again, none of us are in this for a paycheck. That's obvious. None of us are here for the thank yous because half the time they don't happen.
They don't happen.
I think what keeps me going, and I'll go back to earlier in the episode, I think what keeps me going is just making a change in somebody's day.
Yeah.
If anything, this job has taught, I hope, all of us that something can change in a moment. While everything may not be an emergency, we have seen emergencies that are life-altering.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can be a change in someone's really crappy day, even if it's grandma, at 2:00 in the morning, she's lonely because her husband died a few years ago and she doesn't have any friends, and she calls for chest pain, but she really just wants to talk to someone. Obviously we're still going to do everything clinically,
But you're going to sit next to her and yap for the
sit
15-minute
next to her and
ride
talk
and
to her.
figure out, how'd you get here? Like, what was the last 25 years like?
Yeah, and I wish that's something that we would teach our younger providers now. Is just sit with your patients, talk to them.
Yeah.
This job can teach you a lot, but your patients can teach you much more. And I've learned so much from my patients just from sitting there and talking to them. And I think that's what keeps me going. And then again, just the family camaraderie feeling of our coworkers and everything like that.
Yeah, there's nothing like a tight-knit shift.
Yeah.
Where it's just almost like a family.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's amazing.
Yep. Shout out to B Shift.
B shift. C shift was great when I was on it. I love C shift. Where did you see yourself 5 years ago? Was it here?
No.
No.
In 2021, let's see, 5 years ago from now, I had just lost my job. Probably a few months ago, I was laid off from a company that converted cargo vans into tiny homes.
Yeah.
And I was just hanging out in pandemic time going, well, now what? Like, I don't really have any applicable skills. Like, I can go to a construction company and be like, you did what?
Right.
With what? Okay, nope, we're good.
Yep.
And so at that point, I got back into the restaurant world, and my initial goal was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to apply to the fire department. I'm going to try to be a firefighter. At that point in time, I had zero care about EMS.
Mm-hmm.
I recognized it as a necessary evil to get that fire job.
Right.
And excuse me. Gesundheit.
Gesundheit.
As a lot of people do, they go through that process over and over again. You either get real close, you don't make it, you get picked.
Right.
It's a very competitive job. And I came close a couple times, just didn't get it. So I was like, dang, keep trying.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point where, a mutual friend that we both know reached out to me and said, hey, we're hiring. And I was like, all right, well,
I'll apply.
I'm bartending. Like, it's kind of cool, but that could be cool.
Yeah.
And that was literally what I said. I was like, well, that could be cool. So
It's a typical Ryan answer.
I took the job as an EMT, and then here I am, as a paramedic. 4 years later.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? 2021, zero chance I'd be a paramedic because I had no interest in it.
Right.
But then until I got into it, and I was like, man, I kind of like this. Like,
Yeah.
this is interesting to me.
Absolutely.
You?
5 years ago, I was a paramedic at a different agency. So on that front, knew I would be here.
Yeah.
But what I didn't know is where I would be personally with Medic Forge and everything that we have going on with that.
Yeah.
I would have never imagined a year ago that I would
That's
be
fair.
here and that Medic Forge would be doing the things that it's doing, and that these education institutes that are coming on board, that we would be making the difference for them and for their students that we're making. And that has been a crazy process that I wouldn't have thought would be a thing 5 years ago.
Even like you said, a year ago.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yep. Would have just been doing normal
Just making it
paramedic
happen,
things,
yeah.
making it happen. So, talking about Medic Forge, and for those of you that are new to Medic Forge, new to Hot Mic Chronicles, everybody's new at this point to Hot Mic Chronicles. Medic Forge is a LMS for education institutes, kind of replacing the competition when it comes to CAT testing for your students, when it comes to building your courses how you want them to online and not having to follow something that somebody else has built for you. Medic Forge gives you the ability to build your courses the way that you want them to, which is going to lead us into what I'd really like to talk about next is education. You just went through your education or your instructor course and you just got your 20 hours and you've been doing instructor things. How do you feel about that? Because I don't think you saw yourself maybe doing that.
I never saw myself actually getting the instructor portion, but like I always saw myself as someone that could like be a field provider or field trainer.
Yeah.
But I think the issue is just the way that things are being done on a grand scale. Not to poo-poo on any individual programs, but a lot of it is just death by PowerPoint. And unless you have an actual instructor that has an invested interest in it,
Yeah.
that's willing to go the extra mile to make something worth hearing, it falls on deaf ears.
Yeah. I hate PowerPoints.
Like my EMT class, like my instructor was great. Like fantastic dude. He was a Maryland State Police paramedic in the helicopter.
Yeah.
But he followed the Maryland protocol of how they taught their class, which was click, read the slide, click, read the slide. And occasionally he would break out and, say something else, but the entire class was a lecture from start to finish.
Yeah.
I think going through the instructor class and going through like M's part, like that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like it was involved.
Mm-hmm.
It got you up out of your seat, got you talking to other people, broke you out into groups. Like it made a whole difference of like thinking, oh, this class actually could be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like
absolutely.
It's not like I'm sitting here going, well, I need to learn this stuff. I can go there and be like, I'm gonna have a good time tonight.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm also gonna learn something crazy.
Yeah. Ev is really good at getting his students to engage, and not from, as you said, I have to learn this, but you almost want to be there. His want to be there as an educator is so contagious that you get it as a student.
Yep.
And you just want to show up. After, we just got done at our AEMT class at our organization, and one of the students came up to me and said, I don't know what I'm going to do next week. This is going to be rough not having class.
I know who we're talking about. Yeah.
And that's how I felt with Ev's class after 4 days.
Yeah.
You take this 4 to 5 day class with Ev, and you're like, well, what am I going to do next week? I miss it.
I think it was how he evolved it, or just changed it in the moment to be like, you know what? Let's switch gears to do this.
Yeah, this isn't working for this person.
At the time, you think like, what do you mean? What? But this man has, a whole plan, and then off of that plan is 16 other plans. Off of those 16 other plans are 32 other plans, and it could go any other way.
Yeah.
Because he's been doing it so long, he knows, like, well, we'll do this. We'll try this.
Yeah,
If it doesn't work, I've got plenty other options. Like, don't you worry.
Yeah. And
And that was crazy.
when I took Ev's class, I had this thought process of how I wanted to teach classes after. And with this AEMT class, it was really interesting to see those of you that took the class after me it was interesting to see how you took the information that he provided
Right.
and make it your own. And I'm so proud of the way that all of our instructors were able to get information across to students. Some of them did the same thing as Ev of, this isn't working for this student. This isn't working for this group. Let's switch it up.
Yep.
We never sat for more than 45 minutes. We were always breaking into scenarios. We were always doing other things. And we took 9 EMTs and ended with 7 AEMTs in 2.5 months.
Was it not even 3? Yeah.
Yeah, 2.5 months, which is a super rigorous program. And
Especially by most of them, if not all of them, working full time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All of them working full time, and they stuck through it and got the prize at the end. But it was really cool to see that transformation happen so quickly, and I can't help but to give credit to those who deserve it, and that was the instructors for that course. Absolutely amazing for them. Yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah, it was a great time. It was a great time. I think, that's why we're here with Hot Mic Chronicles,
No, absolutely.
is to give people a different version of continuing education. We could sit here and voice over PowerPoints and do everything that everybody else is already doing.
Which is what a lot of the things that are put out there is. It's a PowerPoint, and someone goes, my name is Mike Rogers, and this is how the brain works.
Yeah.
And you sit there and you go, do I have to click the next button, or can I just put this on and wait till the end and take the test? Because I'm not doing that.
Yeah, if you're not engaging your audience, then are they actually learning? And there are some good podcasts out there from guys that are doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
And they are, I wish they would apply for some Con Ed for it. That way I would love to get Con Ed. I'll listen to them without getting Con Ed, but help a brother out and give me some Con Ed. But that, again, that's why we're here. That's why we started doing this, is because it's not often that you can sit here, watch a podcast, learn things, and
Get Con Ed.
get Con Ed for it. And it's gonna go far places. So.
I think it's going to be a little twist on how people see, like, I got to recertify soon. Like, I got to do that Con Ed. Like, I'll put it off. Like,
I don't know about you, but I watch podcasts all the time.
Yeah.
And so if I can just fill my time with watching somebody talk about something that I love
what you're already doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not putting some weird PowerPoint up and being like, all right, well, there's 10 questions at the end, so
Yeah.
click, 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 click.
Click, click, click.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then you
boy.
don't learn anything. So, like, you can't even call it continuing education.
No.
If the test at the end is so, I don't want to say, like, low grade,
Right.
that, like, what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
It's not Con Ed. You're just making sure that someone's doing this thing just so you can say they did it.
Right.
They're not gaining anything from it. They're just getting a little 1 credit at the end.
Yep.
It doesn't help anybody.
No.
No.
And we're here to further EMS and further the education of EMS. and have a long road to go.
For sure.
Again, there are some quality people that are putting out great education already. We just want to get rid of the death by PowerPoint kind of Con Ed. I remember 2 recerts ago, I was behind on hours for the first time in a while, and I did just that. I clicked through. Mm-hmm. I didn't retain anything. I can't tell you what I even did, but it got me Con Ed hours. I didn't enjoy it. I did it the night before I was supposed to recert. I don't remember any of it.
Pointer finger sore from click, 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 click.
Yeah, I did a lot of clicking. I even had one open on my phone as well as on my computer.
Yeah, because you can't have 2 on the one screen.
Nope. Can't do that. So yeah, I had one on my phone, one on my computer. If I had a tablet at that time, I would have done it on that as well. And yeah, I just clicked pass, took the test because none of the tests are hard.
No,
it's just general information.
And even if you fail it, they let you just do it again.
Yeah, just retest.
just try again. You're like, well, I know these answers are wrong, so I got a 1 out of 3 now.
Yep. Yeah, we can get this in 4 shots. 4 shots. Oh boy.
Yeah.
So next week on Hot Mic Chronicles, we're going to be talking to Dr. Spiewak about what it's like to be the doc behind the mic.
Yeah. The guy that you're calling being like, hey, I got this and I need this.
Yeah.
And he goes, why?
Or no. I hate being told no, especially by a med command doc. I usually try to make it not happen, but
yeah, of course.
You and I both have talked to providers that they get denied all the time, or it's this specific doc that is denying them. So I'm very interested to get into his brain a little bit and see, what's his 50,000 foot view not being there. Right. It's only what we give him, right? But what else is he thinking about? What else is What else is he trying to process that we may not even be thinking about while we're with the patient?
Or even like take into consideration, there's a situation a few weeks ago, a provider called in and it seemed like maybe the tone of voice might have been an indication of like, do I give you what you need or like, do you need help? Because it sounds like
you need help.
You're struggling.
Yeah.
So I think that's also a big portion of it is, are you able to explain yourself in a clear and concise manner that makes you sound like you know what you're doing?
Yeah. I'm really interested to get into his brain.
100%.
Yeah.
Could be sick.
It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be phenomenal. What do you want to leave the people with on our first episode?
I mean, I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had a laugh, had a fun.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed it, you can like, you can comment, you can subscribe.
Yeah.
Follow us for the next one.
There's going
to be a bunch more.
Yeah.
We'll probably maybe do one in Texas when we go down there in a month and a half.
Yeah, we're going to be going to EMS World Live in Austin. We may do an episode there. I think it'd be great to... Everybody's going to be there.
Might be a little, off the grid style, but like...
Yeah.
Could do something.
Stryker, and anybody. All of these companies are going to be there, so might as well shoot our shot and see if we can get something on the books.
Even if it's just like a, hey,
we're here. So if you're interested where else you can find this, you can find it on medicforge.net/CE. You can sign up there for free. This episode will be one of our free episodes. Outside of that, if you are an individual, you can get a yearly subscription for $69. Not bad at all. For
nice.
Up to 24 hours of Con Ed a year. And yeah, that's where you can find us. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, like Ryan said, like, comment, subscribe, follow us for more for episode 2.
We'll be here. Will you?